Parashat James Pat, no?
We should have. Just want to thank Eli Cohen for hosting. Finally got you. Finally got you in the. So we love this house. We love the setting. Everyone's here. Summer schedule. It's more chilled out now, you know. But thank you and your wife and your kid and the baby. Hopefully, your house should always have smachot and always beautiful things coming out of it. Amen. Thanks for Jack Kasab sponsoring. Big man. By the way, it's that's what it says. Baruch Omer V'Oseh. Sponsors and he pays. Baruch Hashem. Pays on time. They got a job done. So thanks for Jack for sponsoring tonight. And Hashem also should give you baracha, tzlacha, and hopefully we should have Fash Shema for Leib B'Simcha very, very soon. Amen. Also tonight, they said they want to make this class special, always for Fash Shema for everyone that we say for on the list, but also for Lilu and Shmat, Abraham ben Mazel. It's Jack D. Jamal. I think you know him. He was from Flapish. Jack D. Jamal, not the Jack D. Black. His father passed away.
Wow.
Yeah. We were praying for him for a long time in the chat. The thing was Abraham ben Mazel, So all the words of Torah tonight should be in his Hukat. So stuff. Sometimes the past couple of days I've seen people add to the chat. They say this person said this stuff. You see people come in. You know what I mean? Gotta keep it going. We gotta keep it going. We're doing our part. You know, definitely seeing. There's things that behind the scenes that you always see good things. You always see little miracles behind the scenes. You know, you gotta look for behind the scenes where you see everything is, like they say, it's greener on the other side. You know, sometimes it doesn't look like it, but there's things behind the scenes that it's good things. So we should only hear good things. Amen. Next week's Parashat is about Parashat Hukat. It's an interesting class tonight. I wanted to say this class a long time ago, but it didn't work out so good. So this week it worked out on this Parashat. It was nice. So hopefully tonight we hear some nice things. You know, no one is here to argue tonight, so I feel kind of lonely. But I'm sure you guys will give me some questions. But I want to give you guys a basic question. The Parashat Hukat speaks about one of the main things is the Paraduma, which is the Chok. The question is, what is a Chok? A Chok is a mitzvah that we don't understand the idea. We don't understand the concept. We don't understand the depth of it. We don't understand even the reality of what it is. We just don't understand it. And to us, it sounds like we become like a robot. We just do it because Hashem said it. Also, it's like one thing, it just makes no sense. How could you take a bird, shoo it away, take its kids away? It sounds like an evil thing you're doing, and with that you get aruchut amim. You don't understand it. You get long life because of that. Doesn't make any sense on the human mind that you do this thing and this is what you get. We don't get these things. Like for instance, tefillin. Why does it have to be black? Why you gotta put a box on your arm and on your head? What's the idea? There's no reason for it. Chok, Hashem said, put tefillin on, and that's what we do. These things, it bothers us because we're a nation of thinkers. We always think. We have to know what the reason the mitzvot for. Actually, there's a book. It's called Minchat Chinuch. It's a book that takes every single mitzvah, and he explains the reason why we do it. Imagine that. A guy a bunch of years ago, maybe a couple hundred years ago, he wrote a book for his son. His son asked him a question: why we do this mitzvah? He said, "You know a good question." He wrote a book, and he explained each and every single mitzvah why we do it. So that these days, when we do mitzvot, we now know why we're doing it. So when he came to this mitzvah, paraduma, which means a chok, means it's just like a decree. He didn't know what to write. What are you going to write? Hashem said there's no reason for it. Only one person knows it, Moshe Rabbeinu, and that's it. No one else is going to know the reason. So what is he going to write? He writes in the book that some things we just don't know. We just don't know the reason for it. And that in itself is a mitzvah. Just doing it because Hashem said it, that's a mitzvah. It's hard to understand it because we hate doing things that have robotic motion. You know, it's not like we just put on a button, today we're Jewish and we do things because Hashem said it and that's it. No. Our whole religion is based on opening the book, reading while we do it, learning while we do it, and that's how we do our things. It's human nature. But even more so than human nature, the Gemara is all about getting to the bottom of why we do it. It's not just, okay, we do this and it's it. It goes to the bottom of the source. It pulls out every single piece of information until you get to the idea why we do this. And then if we do this, then why it's this way, not that way. So we all try to figure out what's going on over here. And here, there's just, you hit a brick wall. Sometimes in life, boom, you hit a brick wall. And the question is, what do you do now? Okay, it's Parashat, we don't know what's going on. We hit a brick wall. You still do the mitzvah. That's a real Jew. When we don't understand it, you still do it. You still gotta do it. Yeah, you feel like a robot? Feel like a robot, no problem.
What's the name of again?
Parashat is a very interesting. A guy came in touch with a dead body. Let's say, in those days, everyone was tahor. A guy touched a dead body, he became tameh. The only way to get him tahor again was to take up Parashat. We burn it.
The Parashat, you can make one.
No, they only had 9 in the whole history. Only 9. Only 9 in the whole history. One of the generations they had it. They take it, they burn it. They take the ashes, and they sprinkle it on the person.
But it's not one person. They do it.
Right. It's all right. Yep. And they sprinkle, and the guy comes to the heart. And there's tons of questions. Why you take a Parashat? Why do you burn it? Why does it have to be red? Has to have no color eyes? A whole bunch of different things in it. And sometimes we have no answer. There is some answers to make you feel nice, but no one has the real answer. There's no actual reason why we do it. Just, have go around the bush. Okay, that's the idea of the parasha. The idea of Parashat is the Hulk, and it also umbrellas a lot of different other things. A lot of mitzvot in Torah are hulks, like shatnez. You can't wear linen and wool. A lot of times you have over here linen and wool. Why can't we wear it? What's the problem with wearing linen and wool? There's no reason for it. It's a hulk. There's no reason for it. There is some reasons that, again, touch on the topic, of the hint of it, but there's no real reason for it. Also, basar v'chalav, eating milk and meat. What's the real reason? You can tell me scientifically it's not healthy for the body. That's all great to know. And the Rambam brings that down. But there's no real reason why you can't eat milk and meat. And in the day, it's just a hulk. So there's a couple of things in life that we do that are just hulks. Question is, like this. I'll give you an example. A guy wants to join the flight school. He wants to become a pilot. Right? So to become a pilot, you have to do flight simulator. You have to go into the flight simulator. You have to sit with the pilot. Let's say on a real plane. And the guy is going to take you on a flight. And he's going to simulate an actual flight. And you're going to be in the cockpit. You can't touch anything. You can be in the cockpit. You have to watch whatever he does. You have to learn from what he does. Pilots, imagine the guy goes in the seat. Pilot's going and buckling out. He's explaining him what to do, check for what engine lights, what things, everything, a button. And the guy's pushing all those tons of buttons. There's blue, red, green buttons. He's pushing everything. Buckles in, starts to fly the plane. And as he's about to take off, imagine the guy, the learner, the intern. He's sitting there in the seat, and he just all of a sudden touches the green button, pushes the green button. And then the guy stops the thing, the simulate's done, guy's thrown out of the school, they kiss him. He goes, what's the problem? What did I do wrong? So we told you can't touch anything. What are you doing? Who do you think you are? You're touching the buttons of the plane? You're in the cockpit. If it was a real plane, this is a simulator. If it was a real plane, we would crash. The guy tells him, I don't understand. I saw the pilot. He was pushing all these buttons. He was pushing blue, red, green. And when he was taking off, he pushed this green button. So the button I saw next to it was green also. I figured I'll push it also. The guy said, you're an idiot. That button is dump fuel button. If you're going to dump all the fuel, you're going to crash. Just because it's green doesn't mean that's the right button to push. That's where we are in life. Some mitzvah we do, Hashem says, do this, 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 and this. No, we want to push that one. We want to say, why do we do this? I don't understand. It makes no sense. They're all green, so that one also should be green. No, some things just don't make sense to us. We don't have that knowledge to go above and beyond and understand what that means. The pilot is Hashem. We try to touch other buttons. Hashem says, touch this, 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 and this. Wear tefillin, say mincha, do arbit, do kivud avayim, don't steal, don't kill, and that's the buttons you got to push.
Question for you.
Yeah.
How many Jews are in the world?
14 million.
How many of them actually follow these rules?
Not even half.
So does God make it complicated so that less people will follow it, or that the very solid people
Great
will
question.
follow it?
I once heard the answer like this. Truth is only for the seekers. Meaning, if you really want to know what's the right thing to do, you got to look for it. It's not going to be out there, posted on the walls. You got to be a good Jew and do this, this, and this. You want to become a real Jew? Everyone's Jewish. But who actually practices it? The ones who want to practice it. Understand what I'm saying?
Practice, okay, but now
Practice
we're
meaning
talking
religiously.
We're talking about hawks. We're talking about things that are next level.
Hashem wants us all to do it, no? Before the Galut,
Well, of course, we all do it. I'm saying, but
It wasn't like.
it's hard. It's the reason why not everyone follows the whole Torah as much as they can is because a lot of people aren't really, they're not really searching. A lot of people
Maybe
just.
the system is difficult for a reason, so that it could get all the chara out and only keep, like
It could be. It definitely could be. Yeah, 100%. You sift out the good and the
ones
bad.
out and you have only the rest.
100%.
Well, but the strainer would be for Goyim. Hashem doesn't want.
Right.
But he wants to strain within the Jews for more of that, no?
Yeah.
Then why is it so complicated and why are the numbers like they are?
Well, I'm curious. I'm saying before the Galut, when it used to be, I don't think the percentage. Like now, we're talking less than 50% of Jews follow all these things.
Right.
No, it used to be. I feel like
Well, of course. Back in the day, in times of the temple, everyone was, everyone was showing
But they were sectioned off. Were they mixed with the Goyim?
Yeah.
They were mixed with them?
No.
It's
They had
was.
their own situation
Yeah,
going on.
Oh,
was like
times
this
different
now.
back then.
They
Again,
don't have like this with you walk down the block, the naked girl on the poster.
No,
You
no,
don't
no.
have that. Now it's
No.
much-
but
No,
but
similarly,
right.
of
But in
course.
our
Everyone,
generation,
100%.
our
Even
generation,
IS is
I know.
like-
right. But in our generation, to do a mitzvah is much harder than it was for them. For us to walk down the street and not.
So maybe God wanted to strain more and more out of the people that
Well, it's-
we're not so close out. Of
We're
the
closer.
situation.
One of the big rabbis said in this generation we're like Nevi'im.
Yeah.
The things that we do are like
Yeah,
Nevi'im.
exactly.
Why? Because we live in the days that no one else lives in. Imagine a guy has on his phone everything in the world he can possibly look at. He got whatever he wants. He can just click a button. Is there? They didn't have that in those days. For them to go see something, that they go take a bus, take a show, pay for this ticket, and then go see one girl, and even if she probably wasn't so undressed. Maybe she had a scarf on, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That was what they would back in the day. Nowadays, it's you walk down the street, you see it.
Right.
So everything's in
We
comparison.
have so many tests that
Right.
it just becomes anything that you do that's avodat Hashem becomes like that much more.
Marvelous.
You know?
Even the smallest things. Right now, we're coming to Tuesday night class
Right.
just to learn Torah. Nothing.
be at a bar,
Yeah,
you
you can
know
be anywhere
what I
else. Yeah, you can be anywhere else in the world, which is a good question. So that's what we are. We're the guy in the cockpit, and people try to push the other button. But sometimes you don't gotta do that. Just follow what Hashem said, and it's hard. You know what the hardest thing is? No one likes doing things like they're told to be. Meaning,
Lazy?
no one likes to do things because they're told to do it. I want to do it on my own. You know what I'm saying? A guy tells a manager and an employee. The guy knows he has to take the garbage out. The manager goes to the guy, listen, you got to take the garbage out. No, I'm not doing it. We're not doing it. No, don't tell me. I know how to do it on my own. Like, you don't want to be like slave mentality.
That's what you're talking about all these Hukim, right?
Right.
When we talk about Shilach again, like the ones that are in Parashat, fine, I understand that I don't understand it, so I would question it. All you started saying tefillin and all these things that we do without even thinking, I never thought twice because it was
Right, you just do it.
So, is that a good thing that we?
100%.
We just do it without asking.
That's the ultimate mitzvah. That's the ultimate mitzvah.
Because we never think that there's no reason.
Some mitzvot, you have to think for it. You have to think. Say, listen, why am I doing this? And okay, it makes sense. But tefillin, you have no reason to do it. I mean, it doesn't make any sense why we do it. It's why it's got to be black. Why you got to put a shin. Why do you got to put different lines? Everything is a hog. We just do it because Hashem told us to do it. It's programmed in our mind that we do it. You don't hear anyone say, listen, when I get my mitzvah, I want to put that on. I want to put on a pink tefillin. It's put on black. It's just standard way to do it. It's black. These days you have the reform and other one people that try to change things.
I think even
That's the biggest problem.
I think even the reform girls put on black tefillin.
The girls put on black.
They broadcast it on Shabbat.
As long as they put on
But it's
black.
black.
As long as it's black, right? So that's the idea of everything. There's some mitzvot that we do it because it makes sense, and we understand it, and it has intellect, and some mitzvot are brick walls, and we still do it because Hashem told us to, and that's the ultimate thing. I want to give you guys an interesting story, or an interesting class, of how this, comes in comparison. There's a book in Navi. Maybe you've heard of it. It's called Iyov. Anyone ever hear of Iyov?
Yeah.
It's an amazing story, and it's a lot of musar in it. Iyov was a guy who lived. Some say Iyov was one of the 3 advisors of Paro. Paro had 3 advisors. One was Iyov, Bil'am, and Yitro. And he was one of the guys who, when Paro said, "We're going to throw all the baby boys into the river," these 3 advisors were there. Bil'am said, throw them all inside. Yitro, he told them, don't do it. And Iyov was quiet. He was quiet. And whatever happens here, Some say it's because of what he was quiet. Because he could have stopped it, but he was quiet. But what happened here was that he was very, very rich. He was a big tzaddik. Eov was a big tzaddik. And he was very rich. It says the number, he had like almost 5,000 sheep, animal, donkeys. He was very, very rich guy. All his kids were married and his grandkids, and he was living life on a high level. And he was very, very big tzaddik. And the Navi says that Eov was living great in terms of food, money, and everything. Also was living great in terms of spirituality. He was a big, big tzaddik at that time. And the Satan came to Hashem. And Hashem said, look at my child Eov. What a tzaddik he is, right? Untouchable. Guy's doing everything right. So Satan comes to Eov and says, Eov, Hashem, what do you expect? Guy's got everything in life. He's got money, he's got fame, he's got family, he's got everything. He's got everything you want. Why don't you test him a little bit and see if he's still standing up to the test? It's a crazy story. And Hashem says, okay, I'll give you the power to do whatever you want. Just don't touch him. Don't touch him. His body you can't touch. I mean, you can't kill him. But you can do whatever you want to him. Test him. I'm telling you, he's going to stand strong. I said, okay. Satan comes down and he burns all the animals. Big fire in his house. His whole field, everything burned down. All the straw, all the farms, all the parnasah, everything, all his wheat burned down. And all his animals. Now he has no money. All his money is gone. He stays strong. Does not, any zemunah wasn't flickering away. Hashem goes back and said, I told you, you can't touch him. He's not going to flicker. Satan said, what do you expect? You didn't touch his family. You touched his parnasah, his money, his children, his donkeys, but you didn't get to the real nucleus of the problem. He said, okay, you can touch his family, but you can't touch him. So what happened was that his family had a big party, that big wedding, big party. And everyone was in the room. Big in the house, all his kids, his grandkids, everyone was there. Eov was not in the house at that time. Hashem brought from the Shamayim big wind, and there was a fire nearby that brought the wind and spread to the whole house, and they all passed away. All his kids, all his grandkids, everything. He had a huge family, they all passed away. And he was still strong. Satan came to Hashem and said, Hashem, what do you expect? I told you, Hashem said, you're not gonna beat him, you're not gonna change him, he's gonna be strong. And Eov was still a tzaddik, he was still yashar in his ways. Hashem said, you know what? I can give you one more chance. You can touch him this time. You can touch him, but you can't take his neshama. You can touch his actual body, but you can't take his soul away. I said, okay. Satan came and gave him makat shchin. Shchin is boils all over his body. Boils are not like sometimes you burn your finger, you get a blister. And then you get like a bubble, then you peel it, and then it burns, and then underneath you have a little pus. Imagine you have it one time on your finger. Imagine your whole body is boils. Boils was one of the 10 makot was boils, shchin. He had boils all over his whole body. I think also he had sarat. It was like in a crazy amount of pain. It says that he used to roll in the dirt just to get the pain, the itching away, the burning away. And he was really, really in pain. And then people started coming to speak to him. And the Navi brings down 3 people who came to speak to Eov. Try to give him some sense. Tell him, listen, maybe it's not what you expect. Maybe your emunah isn't, they try to talk him out of it. It's a whole big story. I'm not going to get to the whole story, but I'm going to get to the end of it.
Should I talk out of it or?
Three different people came. One guy told them, leave Judy, forget Hashem. One guy told him, be hazak. One guy was quiet.
Okay.
It's a whole different story. But he started thinking to himself, Eov's name, if you want to write Eov, you spell Eov like this. Aleph, Yud, Vav, Bet. That's his name, Eov. Eov started saying to himself, he started thinking to himself, maybe Hashem made a mistake. Maybe he was thinking to himself, maybe Hashem mixed up my name. Maybe he, instead of reading Eov, he's writing Oyev. Aleph, Vav, Yud, Bet. Oyev means my enemy. Eov was thinking to himself, maybe Hashem made a mistake, just changed 2 letters. Instead of Eov, it was Oyev, and that's why I'm getting punished so badly. Again, Eov was a Navi. This is a Navi. So Navim was like Yeshaya, Zechariah, Shmuel, Yehoshua, Navi. So Eov was a Navi. Imagine a Navi got to the level where he's thinking, maybe Hashem made a mistake.
I'm surprised that they even wanted to test him like this. And Navi,
Yeah, it's a whole story just in itself. Why he tested him, it's a whole thing. But he said maybe Hashem made a little mistake. Maybe he changed 2 letters. Maybe it's not really planned. And he started having doubts on Hashem.
I thought he was trying to give Hashem the benefit of the doubt that he made a mistake. But he was doubting.
He started doubting a little bit.
Yeah.
He started having a little bit.
That's
Like,
a twist because he almost.
Right, he almost had it.
He almost had
He's
it.
looking for the good.
I like that point.
It's nice.
Oh, okay.
He's starting to doubt a little bit Hashem, a little bit of safek. Maybe things aren't as what I think it was. Maybe Hashem made a mistake. Maybe I'm not the right guy. At that moment, it's a big moment. And Navi is starting to think Hashem made a mistake. Everything changes a whole different course. And then Navi comes and says exactly what happens. Hashem comes to Navi Yov. I'll read you the exact words what he says because the words just make straight up, it goes right to your face. Hashem comes to, I'll read it to you right in the face. Vayan Adonai et Yov min ha'se'aran. Out of the fury, out of the, the se'ara. He tells him, Ezorna kegevet halatzecha. He says, if you think you're a gevet, what does gevet mean? You think you're a man? Ezorna kegevet. Be a man. Ve'eshalacha. Yeah. Again, Navi, it's Hashem spoke to Navi. Ezorna kegevet halatzecha. Be like a man. Stand up for yourself. Ve'eshalacha vehodieni. I'm going to ask you a few questions and try to answer me and see if you have any answers. Again, what was Yov's problem? Again, at this point, he thought maybe Hashem made a little mistake. Maybe he changed 2 letters, right? In our world, some people have these things. Maybe Hashem doesn't do everything the way we think it is. Maybe there's Chas v'shalom. Maybe there's other people. Maybe there's other gods. Maybe it's not really Judaism. Maybe we're not the real nation.
Yeah, but a guy that intelligent, that's an Avi, how can he think God will make a mistake? He believes God made the world. He's running the world. Come on.
Here's the power.
His whole family died.
No, not that. Here's the power of influence. The guy that came to speak to him and talk him out of it had some kind of effect on him. Had 3 people came to him. And I didn't go into who came to him, but 3 guys came to him.
So you got a little good.
Even though he didn't accept it, he didn't listen to what the guy said. But it didn't say that Yov said it. He didn't say these things. He thought it. It's a big difference.
So you gave a class. You said thinking is not a big deal.
It's not a big deal. However, in terms of kfirah, safek, for a Navi, it's a big thing. It's a Navi. Even for him to think this, it's a problem. It's a problem. Again, he didn't get punished for it. Just Hashem wanted to show him what's up. Sometimes Hashem answered him. We don't get these answers. We do, but we don't get it straight out like Yov did. But in our lives, sometimes we think, maybe the mitzvah is to do it this way and not like we're supposed to. Maybe what's wrong with doing it with pink tefillin? Nothing wrong with it, right? Maybe I'll take a yellow talit. What's wrong? That's what happened over here with Yov. He's saying maybe the letters were changed. And Hashem comes and gives him an answer. He says, Zona could give it, be a given, and I'm going to ask you a few questions and answer me the answers. You want to hear what Hashem answers him? What he asks his questions? It's the questions that we never think about, but they're rock solid. And this class is, I wish people hear this class because it's a big chizuk, big musar. He tells them, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. And if you have the answer for me, and I want to see if you're a real tough guy. You think I don't know? You think I don't know what I'm doing in Shemayim? You think I made a mistake between Yov and Oyev? So first question, he tells him. Misam memadea. Who put the measurement of the world? Think about it. Who made the world this size that it is? I don't know exactly how wide it is. Say it's 10 million miles. Maybe less than that. Whatever it is. But Hashem says to Yov, who made the measurement to the actual inch? Who measured the world? Who knows how high it is from north to south? How much measurement it is? Do you know, Yov? Do you know how to rule the world? I mean, how to measure the world? And he goes on to the next question. And he tells him, do you know what the world is standing on? Think about the earth is a planet, right? No, not in the spiritual way, in the physical way. Physical way. The earth is again, all these questions are physical questions. They're not spiritual questions. They're just musad. The earth is a planet. It's mass. It's earth, gravity. There's things there. But if you go to the bottom of the earth, you hit the core. Right? So what holds the earth from not falling in space? There's no gravity in space, right? Everything just floats around. So why doesn't the earth float? How does it stay still? Hashem tells Eov, do you know how to keep the world holding still? Who can answer that question? Again, these are questions that people who don't have such emunah in Hashem, or people that, even for the reform, conservative, people that went off and they have their own beliefs in it. These questions, you ask them, scientists, they don't know how to answer these questions. How do you answer these questions? You know, in the earth, Hashem says, who planted the rock? There's a rock, it's a magnetic rock. You know what gravity is? Gravity only works because there's a magnetic in the core, there's magnets. So everything that comes in, that goes up in the world, it comes down. You know why? Because gravity pulls it back to that magnetic force. So Hashem tells Eov, who put the rock there? Who made the magnet in the ground? Can you answer me that? And Eov is quiet. He goes to the next question. And he tells him, take the ocean. The ocean is a mammoth. You can't even explain what the ocean is. You know what kind of power the ocean has? Think about it. The ocean is a monstrosity. Tons and tons of gallons of water. You don't even know how much gallons of water there are, but there's tons. Billions and trillions of gallons. Okay? What stops the ocean from swooshing over the whole land, from destroying the whole country? Again, the ocean could destroy the whole country. Don't think the ocean can't destroy the whole country. Most powerful thing in the world. The ocean could destroy the whole country, the whole city in a second. But what stops it? No, give me again. It's a physical question. So what's no?
Well, it's gravity in the tide.
Yeah, but what stops the actual ocean from coming and swoosh and wiping out the whole radius in this?
The
sand. Think about it, the sand. Take little pieces of sand, put it in your hand, the sand falls off. Sand isn't strong.
It gets wet.
So what? If it gets wet, it becomes like cement. Even if it gets rock. So what? Hashem says, who put sand to stop the ocean? You know what the ocean is? The ocean, only one wave. One wave was a tsunami, killed thousands of people. One wave. Imagine that. Eli, you hear that? One wave wiped out almost half Japan. Remember that? We saw on live TV what one wave could do. And the sand didn't stop at that time. Sand did nothing. Hurricane Sandy. I think I heard today they just finished renovating the South Street Seaport subway station. It was like the one subway station that was underground. It was right near ground zero over there by Hurricane Sandy time. And it was like 15,000 gallons of water flooded the place. Wow. Till now, they just finished cleaning it up. That was one wave of Hurricane Sandy. And you tell me the sand, how much?
5 years ago.
Right, 5 years ago.
That's crazy.
You tell me the sand is able to stop the ocean? Eov is quiet. Continues and he says, all these so far, can I continue? So far it's good? Tough?
Of course, man.
Yeah, it's good. No, because these questions, they have to sink in. You go home and you think about it, like, wait, it makes a lot of sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense. How does the sand stop the ocean? It doesn't make any sense. And Hashem goes question after question, and he's asking him all these things. I want to get to a couple of interesting topics. He tells him one thing. He tells him, if you think I make a mistake, right? You think I wasn't able to make a mistake between Eov and Oyev? Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I wasn't so on top of things. Sometimes we think maybe Hashem skipped me. Maybe Hashem left something out, right? Yeah, sometimes there's doubts. There's doubts. We're all human. We all have a mind. And there's a couple of topics here that we never thought about, but they're very interesting. Hashem tells him, I want to read it to you guys also. He tells him, do you know where there's, we have in our world, we have or and choshech, we have light and darkness. Hashem tells Eov, when the light comes and the dark goes away, where does it go? Where does it go? It tells Eov, where does it go? Do you know where the choshech leaves? You know where the daylight comes from? You know what thunder is from? Thunder is from Hashem. The thunder is one of the slaves. It's an Eved Hashem. Thunder it's like a slave. It does things of Hashem. Hashem tells Eov, do you know who makes thunder yell? Thunder, you know why it makes noise? It's because he's telling Hashem, I'm doing your mission. Abraham, Hineni, I'm here, as the thunder is. Thunder says, I'm here, I'm doing my mission. So Hashem tells Eov all these type of things. Don't think I made a mistake between Eov and Oyev. I know exactly what's going on in the world. I know every single little thing that goes on in every single one's life. You might say, that's very hard to believe. You think Hashem knows what goes on in my life at this second, at this moment, when I wake up, when I want to go to sleep? And he asks him a question. He says, you guys know there's an animal called the orev, the raven? Raven? Listen to this. The raven, he gives birth to his eggs. Right? You can Google this stuff up. It's all scientific. Torah brings it down. Navi says, the raven gives birth to eggs. And the eggs, when they hatch, little baby ravens, they come out white. They don't come out black. Ravens are black. Listen to what Navi says. David says it straight out. The Malbim says it. The raven, when he gives birth to his eggs and the eggs hatch, the raven looks at the kids and he sees that they're white. By the way, the raven is one of the smartest animals. One of the smartest animals. And he looks at the kid and he sees that they're white and he leaves them. Why? He thinks maybe his mother cheated. Maybe his wife cheated with another animal, another bird, and that's why his eggs are white. Because he is black. The raven is black. So how can his kids be white? And he leaves his kids. The Torah says this. Navi says this straight up. Mavim. The raven leaves his eggs to die. And they're white chicks. Hashem tells Eov, who feeds these kids? Again, how does the raven still produce in the world? If that's what happens, right? If the raven leaves the eggs, and the eggs hatch and they're white and everyone leaves them, so how do they live? How do they get food? How do they drink? How do they grow up? How is the raven still in this world? It should die a long time ago.
They don't come back?
Huh?
They don't come back?
They don't come back.
Wow.
Until when?
Oh, they do come back.
They do come back. They turn black. How do they turn black?
How do they turn back?
Yeah.
Natural pigment?
So listen to what Hashem, listen to what Navi says. The raven, when he leaves the kid, the chicks are helpless. They're in the eggs. They're like, they just hatched. They have nothing to eat. No food, nothing to drink. They can't even fly, nothing. Hashem tells Eov, who keeps these little chicks alive? And he tells them, the Navi says, that Hashem makes an amazing miracle. And we say it every morning, but it's called Betzek Kima. It's the eggs of the raven. Hashem gives them parnasa. This is a question for someone who thinks, maybe Hashem is not in charge of my parnasa. Maybe Hashem doesn't control my parnasa. Maybe I do everything. This is the answer to this. Hashem says, you think I don't control everything? I control even the parnasa to the little chicks of the raven. How? The chicks have no food. What happens? When they first get born, Hashem makes them make number 2. They make so'ah. They make number 2. So now they make number 2, and they have nothing to eat. What happens? What animal eats number 2? I'm sorry for the type of language, but this is the Torah. Flies. Exactly.
Oh.
You ever go to the garbage? Who goes to the garbage all the time? Flies. Yeah. Flies eat number 2. So'ah. If you ever see a dead animal, tons of flies there, and they eat the so'ah. They eat off of the dog. Yeah. They eat off of the so'ah. The waste. Number 2, waste. So the flies come to the waist of that raven eggs. It's right there in front of him. And when the little chicks see the flies, they eat them.
Wow.
And that's their food. You understand what Hashem did? He made the chicks make number 2 so that the flies will come to him and then he eats the flies. That's how he lives. Wow. That's what Hashem does. I'm making parnasa even to these little guys. I'm going to bring you the parnasa to your mouth. They eat the things, and when they eat the flies, their skin turns black and the raven comes back and then grows them up. And that's how the raven still stays in the world.
This is only time to see all
Navi tells him to Eov. He says, you think I made a mistake between Eov and Oyev?
So he's hitting him hard. He's
hitting him hard. They didn't stop here. I feed the little eggs of the raven. He goes on to another one. There's another animal called, I don't know if you probably have seen this in Israel. It's an amazing chidush. You good so far? There's an animal called the Nubian ibis. In Hebrew it's called the Ya'ala. You ever see
pictures?
I have pictures. I actually saw it when I went to Mitzpeh Ramon, next to Eilat. There's a hotel in Mitzpeh Ramon. I went there one time. It's called the Hotel Bereshit. Beautiful hotel. I went there one time. But in the Eilat desert area, there's all these like deer, goat looking animals. They have huge horns. In the desert. They're called the Ya'ala. They live in the desert. They live in Yemen, Syria, Iraq, in the desert. And they're in Israel especially. There's almost 500 just in Israel, almost 1,000 in Israel itself. They live in the Eilat area. You've probably seen them if you go there. And this animal, Hashem says, listen to what this animal does. The Allah, when it gives birth, it's very cruel to its kids. This animal goes up to the high mountains. Listen to what happens. Again, this is Malbim saying, it's not me. It goes up to the mountains while it's pregnant, climbs the mountain, and when it's about to give birth to his kids, he goes to the highest point of the mountain, and he sticks his legs out like on the cliff, so that when the baby comes out, it falls on the cliff.
What?
He doesn't want to carry kids. He wants to abort the kids. That's it. That's the nature of this animal. It's called the Ya'ala. He goes up to the highest point of the mountain and he kills him. How do they still go? Listen to what Hashem tells him. Hashem says, who keeps this animal still in existence? You know how? Listen to what happens. Again, I couldn't find this, but the Malbim says it. And when the Ya'ala goes up to the highest mountain and it gives birth to this child, it drops him. And at that same moment, Hashem sends a neshed, an eagle. An eagle comes and catches the baby and brings it back to his mother.
What?
Malbim says it straight up.
And the mother takes it back?
Takes it back.
Wow.
Ya Allah. It's called the Nubian ibis.
Why does the eagle want to do that?
The eagle, Hashem does, that's what Hashem does. Hashem says, do you make this happen? I make this happen. Do you make this happen? One after another, these questions are just, again, I'm giving you just the highlights of this. It goes on for maybe an hour, I can tell you each one. These are amazing things that you can never even think about. I'll give you one more animal. There's an animal, it's called the Hasidah. When he gives birth to his baby.
This is the Hasidish?
No, Hasidah. I think it's some kind of
10
duck.
kids and,
No. Hasidah, I think it's a duck or a badvaz. One of the
kids.
One of these animals. One of these animals, the Hasidah, when she gives birth to her baby, her what's it called? The stomach inside the rechem, the uterus. It's very, very small. Okay, it's very, very small. And if she gives birth at the wrong time, she will die. So what happens is, her opening is very, very tiny. So Hashem sends a certain animal called a drakon. It's called a dragon. Hashem, it's a Nabi calls a dragon. That the exact moment when the baby has to come out, this animal comes and he stings the Hasidah in her place and opens up and brings the baby out. At exact moment. If it's a minute later or a minute earlier, the baby dies and the mother dies. Hashem tells Yov, do you know exactly who?
Not for humans, only for
What? Hasidah. Only for
Dragonfly.
It's a drakon. I don't know.
So you think you're gonna get things in tight holes, it's not you.
No. It's the,
It'll make a mention. It's
All-
C-section. That's C-section.
all these things go on for a front.
Wow. I'll be a billionaire.
He's the dragon, this guy.
Crazy thing, huh? Comes in poison things. You never think of these things.
No more C-section.
But Hashem tells you all these things. Hashem tells you all these things. And Yov is still silent. And the last one I want to tell you is, Hashem tells him, do you know who gave wisdom to the rooster? You ever hear of we say every morning, "Hanoten sechvi bina lahavin ben yom ben laila." What does that mean? We say every morning, all these things we say. And one of the things we say are, we give, Hashem is the one. Blessed you, Hashem, that you give wisdom to the hen, to the rooster, to differentiate. Asachvi, yeah. No, Asachvi means it's the rooster. Blessed Hashem. Blessed you, Hashem, who gives wisdom to the rooster to differentiate between day and night. What does that mean? The rooster, if you ever go to Israel? No, Sachvi is a Tanagol. What does it mean to us? We know the difference between day and night? We don't. No, the exact moment.
Oh.
There's an exact moment when the day goes from day to night. Or from night to day. We don't know it. But there's an exact second that you can say.
This is even crazier.
Crazy. But think about it. Maybe it's 4 o'clock and 52 and 32 seconds when the day goes from night to day.
Wow.
You don't know what time it is.
And the Tanakh knows?
But who knows it? Tanakh. If you go to Israel, in the backyards, they have chickens and roosters always cuckoo. You know why I do it? Ask anyone who has it in the backyard. They do it at the same time every single day. In the morning, like way early in the morning, like at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. Why? Because they know exactly what time it is between day and night. Exact time. It's very deep. And you know that thing they have on their head? It's called the cannonball. At that moment, it turns blue. It's always red. At that moment, it turns blue for a split second. And that's the time when the difference between that day and night. Imagine that. The rooster knows between day and night. And you think I made a mistake between Iyov and Oyev? He gave him a big musar. And then he stopped. And Oyev answers in the end. He says, Hashem, you're right. Iyov, he answers and he says, Hashem, you're right. I can't answer any of your questions. And I cannot even think to begin to answer. And then the Rashi says that what he meant to say was, some things in life that I don't understand, I will no longer try to make sense out of it. And that's what comes down to this Parashat Hukat. Some things in life we just do not understand. They're above our mind. For instance, why does good things happen? This is the famous question Moshe Rabbeinu asked Hashem. He said, Hashem, I want to see you. What does that mean, I want to see you? Doesn't mean that Moshe wanted to see his face or to see his hand. It doesn't mean that. Moshe asked Hashem, I want to see you. I want to see Hashem. I want to see the answer to this famous question. Why does good things happen to bad people and bad thing happens to good people? Tzaddik veralo, verasha v'tovlo. That's the famous question that we all have. Everyone has this question. Judaism is based on this question. Why does it work this way? I don't understand. How could a guy go do a mitzvah and get killed? It does not make sense. It doesn't make sense. You can't give me an answer for this. That's the answer. The answer is there's some things that Hashem does when I'm able to understand it. And knowing that Hashem does it for our good, and everything eventually works out for the good. Everything eventually does. It's just we don't see it at the time. It's very, very hard. Impossible. Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to do it, he couldn't find out. And Hashem showed him the back of him. What do you mean show him the back of him? Hashem showed him the end of the things. He showed him the end of the storyline. I'll give you a small story, just end up the class, to explain to what I mean. There was once a lady who was walking in Manhattan. Syrian lady, that's a lady. I saw that story a long time ago. My father told me the story. I saw a lady walking in Manhattan, and she was walking down the street. Guy came to mug her. Pushed her down the subway stairs. You know the long subway stairs? Pushed her down, and he grabbed her pocketbook and everything, and she fell down, and she ended up breaking her collarbone, her shoulder, fractured her arm. Big thing. She took her to the hospital. She was there for a couple of days. She got banged up big time. And they're doing work on her shoulder. She had a big operation on her shoulder. Dislocated shoulder and a fractured arm. Big thing. Laser and surgery and everything. And the surgeon was doing the operation. And after the hours of the surgery, he comes out to the husband. And he tells the husband, he says, I have good news and bad news. So the guy goes, what could possibly be? It's a shoulder surgery, what's the worst that can happen? You messed up with the arm? What's going on here? He tells him, the good news is we finished the surgery. The bad news was that you had cancer in your arm. I don't know how, I don't know why, I don't know how it works, but the doctor said she had cancer in her arm. She had a tumor or something. She had a tumor, she had a cyst, I don't know what a mass in her arm, in her shoulder area. And he says, but the good news is that when we did the surgery, we took it out.
Wow.
Yeah, you never know.
Wow.
So she's done. Clean. The husband looks at the doctor and he says, wow. Like the whole thing just played out in front of his eyes at that moment. Yeah, at that second when you got a phone call from the hospital, your wife's in the hospital, she got mugged and this and that. Oh man, it's the worst thing in the world that could ever happen. You don't understand why this happened, I don't understand. And then you end up saying, wow, she made a huge party probably, right? Made a gourmet, he probably danced for hours. Because in the beginning of things, we don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense. Because we don't see the whole picture. We just see that the girl fell down the stairs, she got mugged, she broke her arm. To us, black, dark, scary. But in a few hours, you're going to see, yeah, she broke her arm, there was surgery, we found the cancer in her arm, and she's totally clean. That's a lesson for life. A lot of times in life we see these things, we have no idea what it means, and we can't even understand, even think about what it means. But just know in the end of things, you're going to see the clear sky. We should take this musad and continue going. And we should always remember the story of Eov and Oyev. Don't think that Hashem doesn't know these little things. Like the raven's eggs, takes care of every single person. Even the little chicks of the raven, they get parashat.